We start with some moody firefly bird with killer eyelashes, hanging out watching some free-range giraffes and swearing slow yet fatal vengeance on that Pedro Pascal looking fella because reasons the show won't yet explain. Though probably has something to do with the time he went full Terminator on a bunch of randos and doctors. Also he could save his phony fakey daughter girl from saving the world with her super immune blood at the end of the last epi. Anyway, after the opening titles, we cut to 5 years later, where some guy's out here doing a hate crime by smacking up the local lesbian in a small barn. Before little Ellie soon turns the tables and gets him in a groin lock. And before you can say, why not just punch her in the fanny, and why do lesbos never wrap their ghoulies around my neck already? He taps out like a riot yuck, after it's revealed it's just some pussy old training exercise and he just got murked by a 19-year-old carpet muncher. Later, said Pedro Pascal looking fella, aka Joel, is out here bonding with new girl Dina over literal electrical bonding. But she don't really care about no stinking copper wiring, and instead asks why Ellie's so miserable and mad at him all the time. Because I guess there's only so long you can blame this stuff on the time of the month and shit. But he just says, I ain't got a clue, love, and besides, you're her best friend, so if you don't know, how am I bloody meant to? Anyway, after blowing the fairy turban off some mushroom head just chilling out having his breakfast and minding his own business, Joel's brother Tommy says he's taking Ellie off patrol, given she's getting too big for her boots and recklessly running off into danger to take out some plant zombies solo. So naturally, she throws a total strop at Joel, who ain't even currently there, and for making her do stinking gate duty, just because she can't follow the rules or be remotely sensible when patrolling outside like a responsible adult. So pussy old Tom Tom cucks right out, and secretly puts her back on Rota, just in case she was seconds away from snapping, and putting him in her special groin lock too. Elsewhere, local ethnic and literal communist Maria whines on about wanting to take in more refugees already, because clearly the apocalypse destroyed all the TV and internet, so she wasn't able to quite see how such policies destroyed all of friggin' Europe in real time.
Fuck you!
Naturally, Joel's pretty resistant, given he's already working all hours God sends to build new homes for everyone she wants to bring in already, and really don't want to go through them chest pains again like last season. But soon goes full Nazi, when he admits he'd kinda rather prioritise the people already here in their own community than open the floodgates to a bunch of randos nobody knows and whom they don't really have the resources to support in an apocalyptic wasteland anyway. And before you can say, careful with that rhetoric, pal, or else I'll start framing you for historic sex crimes or just jailing you for whatever bullshit they recently stuck Le Pen with over in Frogland, Tommy returns with his interracial kiddie, and probably lies to his brother's face about how he totally wasn't out hunting with that Ellie bird, lol, trust me bro. An equally miserable Joel then heads over to his therapist's house to figure out why his miserable phony fakey kid with a heck of a forehead totally hates him and stuff. But hilariously, his own therapist just tells him how much she hates him too, given he killed her husband of 41 years Eugene off screen some time back and soon after he turned into a mushroom head and tried to munch her up. And also how she'd be miserable too, having to live with this monosyllabic twat and also see him star in every fucking film ever made these days.
Fuck you!
Anyway, after thanking her for subjecting him to a tirade of toxic hate and making him feel even worse for $200 an hour, he storms out as Ellie is busy getting fondled by Dina in her own garage. And whilst out on patrol and doing a bit of flirty bonding about barbecue puns whilst also making a date to go to the town dance party together that night, the pair come across a trail of bodies and an abandoned building where a surviving monster may be hiding out. So despite being strictly forbidden from engaging any hostile zombie fellas, they then enter said building and totally engage said hostile zombie fella, leading to some post-murder adrenaline highs, and also Mr. Bean style accidents when the dope falls through the fucking floor like a riot Wally.
No!
After Dina heads back to get help, Ellie is stalked through the aisles by some creepy out of focus monster thing, and once luring her in, she's soon jumped by some super horny sapphic shambling stalker bird, who just can't wait to tuck into her guts. And before you can say, where exactly is this place full of so many loose and lustful lesbians and how do I get a plane ticket there pronto, she probably forgets her safe word and gets a fucking chunk chewed out of her tum. So she just shoots the naughty rapist and says diddly squat to Dina, who's now just bothered to show up only moments after she got herself eaten out but not in a good way. The pair then explain their encounter to the community council, who just can't believe there now seems to be a new and evolved type of zombie mushroom killer who has turned smart and can lure in little lovesick lesbians to get chewed up. Nor can an exasperated Tommy believe that they yet again ignored explicit rules and recklessly went hunting solo, also yet again. After sterilising her wound and just thanking her lucky stars that she's already the super immune girl what's the key to everything and indeed a plot armoured walking trope, she goes back to being a moody biatch and being all stroppy with an awkward Joel, who even kindly offers to replace her dodgy guitar strings for fuck's sake. Gah, kids, honestly, who'd have 'em? Anyway, later at the local town shindig, Ellie creepily watches that bird what she has a crush on get her groove on at the hoot nanny beside her said crush's ex-Asian boyfriend, before being dragged onto the dance floor and promptly rubbed all over by drunken Dina, who just tells her to shut your stinking gob and totally snog my face off already. Which she totally does, but just ends up becoming the victim of a hate crime yet again, when a local bigot McGrump flaunts his intense homophobia and offence at two gay snogging in a literal church. And after Joel barges in to defend their honour, his totally ungrateful phony fakey sort of daughter kid tells him she don't need his stinking help, nor need him out here trying to cringily virtue signal by white knighting for two small homosexuals, but instead just ended up spreading his toxic masculinity all over the gaff. So now on the verge of tears after being totally humiliated by two little girls in front of the whole town, he just leaves to go sit on his porch with Ellie's now patched up guitar, and just can't believe she doesn't even apologise or say hi when she returns and instead just storms back off to her garage in a sulk. And at this point, probably just regrets not leaving her belligerent ass to get deaded back in the Firefly compound all them years ago. And we end with a bunch of cordyceps spores hatching inside a small pipe in the middle of town, and the Abbey bird approaching the edge of the settlement, having now finally found her Pedro Pascali foe, and who's still super pissed about something what the show still refuses to exactly tell us about, and despite the fact that, in all honesty, she should probably be way over whatever it is by now after 5 freaking years have passed. And that's it. That's Season 2's first epi. And wowzers, that was sure worth a 2-year wait, right guys?
Wrong.
Though my favourite part was being treated to even more gay stuff. Because I guess dedicating 2 full instalments of gay and lesbo flashback eps out of a 9-episode season back in Season 1 just wasn't enough to satisfy HBO nor the limp-wristed Rainbow writers. But anyway, that's the plot and that's a lot. Considering that bell thing, so you don't miss the roast of episodes 2 and 3 when they drop. Tell me if you like this show in the comments, if you have time. And I'll make terrible barbecue puns whilst getting roasted by my own paid therapist with you in the next one.